All right, guys. So Yin Yoga. If you think of Yin Yang, Yin is like the passive, and Yang would be more of the active. And really, in Yin Yoga, in a nutshell, it's passive, still holds in positions, and it's a flexibility based practice. Um, what we're targeting in our Yin practice is the fascia. So not it is muscular because every muscle cell, every muscle group of cells called a follicle, every muscle, every bone, every organ is surrounded in this tissue called fascia. And that is made up of two main things, let's say protein collagen and elastin. It's a type of specialty cell. And, the more, there's many types of collagen, right? And as we're holding these stretches longer and we're going passive, we are literally kind of reprogramming the fascial matrix. So as you think of these protein collagen fibers, they're like intertwined, and and that's in the fascial matrix. If you think of like meat, you pull the meat, there's that hard kind of, I don't know what they call that white substance. It's kind of tough. That's a denser collagen. You can see in like beef or chicken, there's these different like types of collagen fascia. Uh, it's the best example, really. So when you hold like a muscle in your hand, meat, you can see all that collagen. You can see some elastin type fascia as well that pulls apart and it's very elastic. And what we're really doing is reprogramming, restructuring that. So think long, passive, relaxing holds. All right, let's get started, guys. So I'm gonna, give you the basics tonight. This isn't an easy practice, but you just do the best you can, like always. Have some fun. It's a very meditative practice. A lot of science behind this we'll get a little bit more into as we go through. Okay, so let's just start in our tabletop. This class is very still. There's not much movement, yogis. Think about holding postures longer than you ever do, okay? So let's just do a little short 5-minute warm up. Nice big inhale for the cat, the cow, the cat, the cow, okay? So just take a few movements here. You can't go wrong doing cat cow. Really, you can do it every day. Helps get a lot of blood flow through the spinal column. Great for the organs too. Obviously the neck and the lower back. So inhale, exhale. I run into a lot of people that are trying to, heal back pain, things like that. I don't really recommend like a lot of forward bends, like, like child pose or forward touch your toes. I really would recommend like this first, because we want to get movement into where movement is, not able, and then, build strength where it's not strong. So that's one of the best kind of lower back exercises there, okay? Next part of our warm up here, right leg just lifts up and back, and just think kind of one run through the body. Rotate your right ankle in both directions, kind of point and flex, okay? You can wiggle the toes. And then I just want you to kind of bend the knees, straighten the knees, circle the hip. It doesn't have to be exact right now, yogis. The idea is to kind of run up through the joints. We just did some spine, and now it's like ankle, knee, and hip, just to get blood flow all through all that area. It just makes stretching a little bit easier. Traditionally in Yin, we'll pop you right into the first pose, but I always noticed, especially in the beginning of my Yin journey, a little warm-up helped a lot. Right knee down, left leg lifts. Go ahead, just circle out the ankle 2, 3, 4 times, point, flex, and then you kind of bend the knee and straighten. The knee is easy, right? Because it has like one plane, just forward and back. Your ankle and your hip are much more complex. So when we're opening up that hip, you kind of have to circle, go side to side, even like rotate it, like open and close. A circle does the job, okay? And now I want to go back to the spine. That's major joints, but this next spinal movement also includes my shoulders. So think spinal rotation, okay? Hands go closer together. No rush, yogis, take your time. On the nice inhale, right arm goes out and up. Exhale, right hand goes down. Big inhale, left arm goes out and up. Okay, exhale down. Now go slow, right? In essence, what's happening is your arms are kind of going like this. Doesn't look like it from your aspect, but maybe you're kind of going like that. and then the spine is going like this. So these are helping your flexibility as well. We have done the dynamic classes where we do really moving based, body mechanics, where we're trying to create movement, like range of motion, as opposed to like static holds. So tonight is heavy static. We're going to get you in positions, and I'm going to try to get you to discipline yourself and keep melting and relaxing into that. Because our first stretch hold, which is coming up, is 5 minutes. Okay, so let's keep going, guys. Just sit back on the top of your ankles for a moment. So that completes our, the down dog is next, but see the little wrist roll. See how I kind of just bend and straighten my elbows. I can even do this. See, it's kind of like a little circle. It's really not an elbow circle, but it's shoulder kind of rotation in medial, external, internal. You see that? And then I can kind of go like this as well. I could even like circle if that feels good. So this is pretty much going to be the end of our warm up here. I'll give 1 or 2 more things. Okay, I could even like circle my scapula like this. Welcome. If you're just joining, guys, we're just kind of warming up. We're here at the end of the warm up. So we just ran through the major joints in the spine. I'm just going to tuck my toes, do a quick down dog. It's always good to loosen up our feet and our calves, ankles. That's a very common place where people are very tight. So, you got to take a moment here to kind of see this. Just kind of loosen up. See how I kind of bend. I'm kind of shifting forward and back. I'm bending and straightening, pedaling, moving my hips side to side, shaking my head yes and no. And this is going to be the end of the warm-up. And then tonight, guys, it's a really nice practice. Like I said in the email, Yin changed my life, and I'm not exaggerating. I was really tight coming out of college, and I was doing yoga for a long time, but not really seeing the results and the flexibility. And then I found the Yin with Paul Grilli. He's an anatomist, and this is based off the myofascial science, all right, this practice. So here we go, guys. Let's drop down to the knees. And our first lovely position is the straddle. So it's hamstring. I just brought you there. Now, if you can't do this, you can sit up against the wall. Anytime we're really tight in this, just kind of getting a little support, this is enough. And eventually you're going to be able to work kind of more forward, and you get the lower butt against the wall. And then eventually you'll be able to go here. Now, I know that's not easy. You can use a couch or any surface there. But I'm going to get you on the timer. Now, remember, yogis, this is Yin. So think the opposite of Yang. We're going to practice passive holds. So I want you to start to go forward if it's in your practice. It's not like normal yoga, hatha. Even though it is a style of hatha yoga, it's not like the active variations where I engage my legs, flex my feet. You do that initially, but then I really want you to relax your feet. I want you to try to relax your legs. Some of us might be able to go forward. Now, traditionally in Yin, there are no props, but you're welcome to in this class. A beginner, it's totally okay. You want to use a prop. All right, guys, so I'm going to start the timer. Paul Grilli always says I want you to time those poses. All right, and I want you to keep melting into these forms, okay? It's not easy. Try to use your breath, a nice deep inhale in your nose. Nice deep exhale. So if you're just joining, we're doing Yin practice. It's been, I think, about 4 weeks or so, maybe even a little longer, since we did the Yin. It's one of our great flexibility methods. Think passive, relaxing. As you hold, the sensations will change. As you inhale, maybe a little bit of length, but try to stay passive. And as you exhale, you're melting a little deeper. And if you don't mind, yogis, I'm going to do it with you this evening. Try to keep melting and relaxing. If you have a lot of trouble in this, yogis, you could take hands behind you on blocks. You know, some of us might not have like a good surface to lean up against. And to start, it's kind of just like this. You know, I'm trying to just sit up a little bit taller and relax. It's a tough kind of middle ground to find. Keep working. It only keeps getting easier. That's the good thing here. All right, every time you're working, it's going to get easier. But initially, it's like hands behind you and just work on like sitting up tall and relaxing. And you'll notice you'll start to be able to slowly come forward. Then you can take your hands in front of you. Kind of relax your arms a little bit more. Little progression here. And eventually, it's more like forearms. And some people can lay on their chest. But just notice about, you know, where are we here? About, yeah, man, we're almost halfway here. So they say a 2-minute mark, you start to feel the sensations, the nervous system changing, how it's interpreting the sensations. So stay with the body here. Good, another 2.5 minutes, yogis. You want to change your body, break up deep tightness, stay focused here, stay determined. Remember your goal. Come to flexibility class. Relax. When it gets difficult, you're fine. Try not to leave every time it gets difficult. That's like right before the big release and change. So try to stay with it. Rather than exit the pose, maybe just back out a little bit and then try to relax. So if you're a little too far in, try to find a place where you can hold. Okay? You're almost there. Stay with it, please. Oh, there's our 5-minute timer. Now listen, you're newer to this, you got to release very slow, okay? So you want to lean back a little and slowly bend the knees and, you know, maybe even help the legs back together. But again, you know, your body just is adapting to anything. So look at just a little shake, a little neutralizing. Take time in between. I'm going to move forward and demonstrate what's next. So that science is based off releasing deep line first, basically deepest parts of our body to the outer. There's a lot of debate about that, working from the superficial to the deep, but I like the theory of hitting that deep right from the start, okay? Here we go, guys. When you're ready now, this is an opposite pose. It's a big old back bend now after the forward bend. Okay, so this is our Psoas Traction. I want you to, you know, get into your Sphinx. This is the beginner version. If it's still a little too much, you can go here. In the advanced Yin, we hold this for about 5 to 8 minutes. But I'd like most of you to find middle ground, probably a good place to start. And we're going to go 4 minutes. Really, the stretch is anything after about 1.5 minutes. So every stretch except the twist is very long. The twist is the shortest one. So everyone looks pretty set up. Here we go. You're on the timer. Yin Yoga is a fantastic place to meditate, guys. Close your eyes. If you're working on a meditation or maybe you're contemplating stuff in your life, it's a great place to kind of have an inner dialogue. Talk to yourself. Okay? All right, guys, about another good 3.5 minutes in silence. Just breathe and relax. Let's not forget our directional breathing. Breathe into the tightness. Every pose has different directional breathing. Learn to use the breath to help this process. It's okay to take rest. If it's too achy on the body, it's okay. All right. I used to have to rest a lot. Take a little rest, shake it out. Maybe come back and join us when you can. Okay. Let's also be kind to our body. Less than a minute left. There's our timer, yogis. Good job. That is not an easy pose. Take a moment. Look at this. Anything that feels good. Next posture is the chest stretch. Regulars, you know it, but this is yin form. Only 3 minutes per side. So it's a minute and a half in the yin change, okay, the restructure. Right arm reaches out. If it's easy, bend the arm 90 degrees. But look at yogis. My arm, if I had a neighbor right next to me, I'd reach right to their back. I'm not here, okay? Right arm out, push through your left hand. Get comfortable. Try to relax your head down, even relax your left arm. All right, nice deep breathing. A lot of places to feel this. So directional breathing. I'm going to start the clock. Don't forget to kind of, if you need to fidget a little initially, that's okay. We want to find the sweet spot of the pose. If you're still confused, I think everyone here knows their stuff, but it looks kind of like this, but on our back, right? Laying on our chest, excuse me. And the more challenging variation in that right angle. So either way, my head is on the floor. I'm starting to relax deeper and deeper. You'd like to use that metaphor like an onion. The layers of tension keep peeling away, exposing deeper layers. Try to relax the right arm. Nice deep inhale into the upper kind of right quadrant of the chest and underarm, back, and neck. You got less than a minute. Try to remember to relax. It's very subtle, this kind of tension holding. Keep remembering to relax deep and deeper, all right? There's our right arm timer, and we're gonna go to the second side. The beauty of this, yogis, is if we just do our second side, it's kind of like a reciprocal inhibition. This hand was pushing, stabilizing. Now this one would push and stabilize. Before it was opening and releasing. So again, it's left arm out like that, or that. When you do the whole shoulder line, right, we have this, we have this, we have this, we have this, we have that. There's a lot of different variations like that too. I like to start here mainly because of how the average person holds their body regularly throughout the day. Left arm out, roll to your left, start to reposition your hips, take a good 10 seconds, and I'm about to start the clock. Just close your eyes and enjoy it, yogis. We're getting a ton done physically, and you get to relax too. So really a fantastic practice here. You got 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Stay with it. Breathe. A nice little addition, guys, is you can take a big inhale in the directional breathing. So big breath into your upper left kind of chest quadrant area, and then you hold it. And then you're really getting some deeper, work in with the ribs. You notice after a nice breath hold or 3, as you exhale deep after, kind of releases you a little bit deeper. It's totally okay if you get a little numbness and tingling. It's totally normal. Your nervous system will adapt. Nerves don't really like to be stretched, so they kind of act funny, when they're pinched or stretched. So it's totally okay. The body adapts. If it gets too painful, obviously, it's different. We are done there, guys. Excellent. That's our biggest upper body stretch, even though this next one is also an upper body stretch, is the child pose. All right, so take your time. I'll meet you there. When I see most of you in there, I'll start the timer. So knees wide, big toes touch, arms go forward. So your buttocks is nothing to your heels. You kind of wiggle to get very comfortable. And I do want you to relax so you can walk your arms forward. And then you start to melt yogis, bro. It's like, you're almost drooling in this pose. That's how lazy your body gets. You're on the clock. Another substitute for this posture would be yoga squat if you wanted to go a little bit more assertive. But if you have to sit on a block or you use your heels, I'd suggest child pose. If yoga squat's okay, that's another similar approach, okay? But either way, you're relaxing, you're doing some directional breathing, maybe a couple breaths into your underarms, a couple breaths into your lower back, a couple breaths into your upper back. So you don't always have to breathe into the exact same spot. Kind of moving the breath around is a fun and effective way to get different effects in the same pose. Stay with it, almost there. Even in child pose, I noticed I was kind of tensing. And I didn't realize it for the first minute. And then I really started to melt a whole other layer. It's almost a different pose. Once you really release some of those layers of tension, different things are kind of exposed. Nice. That one went pretty quick. So we're going to release, come up to tabletop and swing it around, come to seated. So this is like, we're in like the middle class, and you can see postures start to get, these are all pretty big, but we kind of come into the thick of it now. This is our outer hip stretch. Now, what I'm going to teach is Gogokasana, but if you can't do Gogokasana, I never used to be able to. So where we start with instead is like pigeon. So just with pigeon, let me demonstrate quick. I bring the right shin forward, walk the left foot back, okay? And then I'm gonna come down here. And not an easy hold because we're just gonna go 3 minutes. Yin, go about 5 minutes there, but that's one that can like pinch the nerves. So we'll start with 3 minutes. If you're gonna try the Gogokasana, see how like my right foot slides under across and my left foot goes outside. This is nice because it's bilateral, both legs, both times. A little different time to time, but nice stretch here. Now look at those feet. I gotta pull the feet back. Now, this is when I could say you can sit on a block, but when in doubt, just do pigeon. If you can't do pigeon, even just something like cross-legged here is totally in that same kind of category. See that? So I'm teaching the Gogokasana. Let me start the clock here. I see some of you have already been in it for a while. Pull the feet back, lengthen forward, start to forward fold. Now, can you relax here, yogis? Okay, compression stretches are hard to relax. Here's one where the directional breath starts to go lower, waist, lower back, hips. I didn't mention it, but Yin is a nice time. When I used to teach Yin in person, I would describe it, and then I kind of turn up some nice music, turn the lights low. It's very meditative, and there's some nice music. Sometimes I'll listen to audiobooks on my own while I'm doing my Yin. So if you have anything you want to do, it's a nice time for that, all right? So you got another good 2 minutes here. Enjoy it, guys. Try to relax into it. You're almost finished here. Got about 40 seconds left. Keep relaxing, letting go deeper and deeper. There's our bell for our first side. Okay, and again, release slow, give it a little moment to kind of get that blood flow going after it's kind of restricted in some places. And I know that Gogokasana can be difficult, but one day I want you to give it a shot. Okay, if you're always kind of doing the pigeon or the crossed shin, eventually I want you to pick a day, one of those days, and try it. Okay. because that's how you start getting better at it. You got to take that big leap and try that new stretch one day, all right? So here we go, guys. Look at that left foot slides under and around towards my outer right hip, and that right foot goes outside. What I love about this is it's deeper rotation, right? So you're gonna get like more like the hip as opposed to like the leg, even though pigeon is a lot of leg. And just notice my knees start to kind of stack and face forward more. And I'm not sitting on the heel, my sit bones are down, okay? Just take a big inhale. Looks like most dudes are pretty set up there. Only about 3 minutes per side, it goes quick. Nice deep long breaths. Each exhale relaxing a little deeper. And there's our timer. Finished with our outer hips. Carefully release. Take a few moments. Shake it out, please. Now, that's our 2 forward bends, right? The child pose or the yogi squat into the Gogokasana. We did this forward bend earlier. And there is actually one more in the end. So now we want to go deepest front body stretch. So this is one of the peak stretches. I know a lot of us struggle with this one. There's not many substitutes, truly, but I can try to give you some. So it's basically child pose second round, except we go backwards. So again, it starts with that ankle compression. You know, this front of your shin and this ankle, it's totally overlooked. So many people have like leg and knee, back issues because of the front line. It all starts the tension pattern from the top of the foot, ankle through the shin. So again, it is a compression round. The knees, the big toes touch, the knees go wide. So same as that modern child pose. It's like that. Knees are a pretty good amount apart here. Now they don't have to be that wide depending on how you feel it. But you know, this is how it goes. Now, this is a big pose, guys. So let's not force it. I'm gonna start the clock here because it looks like most dudes are already there. So we're gonna go big here, guys. This is a tough round. You should be mentally strong here. Okay, we're gonna go 5 minutes. Now, I'm leaning here with practice. I kind of gotta lift the butt and I start to go back a little further, okay? Now my back's a little tight today. I had a long day of massage and body work yesterday, so usually I can lay on my back easy. It's restricted, so I'm gonna stay up here for now. Usually I can do it, but I can't tonight, all right? So try to relax your lower back, your abdomen. Let's close our eyes and breathe. Kind of just maneuvering to get a little bit more comfortable here. Try to stay with it, yogis. I know it can be tough here. All right, if you need to exit a little, you can, then maybe you try to come back and join us. I know I didn't give an easier option tonight. All right, I pretty much do that. If you were going to do it, you kind of lay on your side and reach back with your top hand and grab the top foot. It's not a true release. And now look at that. My back actually already released a lot. And I can lay back. I really couldn't. It hurt a lot. Try to relax, yogis. Come on. This is it. We're in the thick of getting more flexible. Stick with it. Be strong mentally. Just some food for thought. I'm feeling the tingling starting in my legs. I'm very used to it. Kind of feels actually kind of good. That's normal. All right. It's totally normal for all that tingling. Try to relax. Let go more. Okay. This is a game-changing pose. If you're doing one side, maybe switch it up. Okay. I think one or two of you might be doing an easier variation. Now less than 2 minutes left. Less than a minute left.
savior. Now, getting out of this posture is a whole thing in itself. If you're laying back, and I remember being stuck in this, like in the class, like I can't get up when I first started doing it back here. So you gotta use like your core and your elbows and go really slow because it can be really achy in the back. You know, that first is a big stretch for your ankles. That's why I give you the child pose warm up. Then it's the thighs and shins, and then it's the hips, and then it's finally the huge lower back stretch. All right, so a lot of blood flow and compression. That is, you know, if I had to pick one pose, that might be the one that's really going to change our body a lot. Back pain, you know, if you sit too much. All right, so I need a counter for that, which is our twist. All right, so listen, guys, we only got 3 more things left. All right, so we're already here at the end now. It might feel good just for a moment. I would go slow after that. If you need to take a little squeeze or draw a little circle. Remember, like neutralizing after, the newer it is on your body, the more you need to take time in between. You know, when the more kind of seasoned practice, we like go right through this stuff. Boom, boom, boom. I kind of give you time to slow it down. Okay. Here we go. The twist that we do in this class to start is the cross thigh. My right leg goes over my left. Look how there's no space here between my thighs. It's not the one where we go right here. My right leg wants to go over to the left. So I scooch my hips right. This is the shortest hold of class. It is a big spinal rotation. My knees go left. My arms could go wide. I do want to like look to the right. So these are all classic yoga poses we're doing tonight, right? So I'm going to start the clock for you guys. Close your eyes. Nice little break after a couple really intense positions. And another minute, 25 left. Get lazy here, yogis. I mentioned like you're drooling. Let your bones get heavy. You know, I even like to say like, imagine you've been, what are they? Like it's like you're like half drugged. You're like someone, I don't know what it is, what they call it. Like, they give you like anesthesia, and you're just like, okay. Really let go here, guys. Okay, it's a shorter pose. If it's ever too much, I forgot to mention, it's just both knees into the chest over. Okay, that's our softer variation. And there's our minute and a half. Let's slowly come back up. I like to kind of shake my legs out a little, but it's very soft, and bend and straighten my knees. Okay, it's just a little subtle movement, even like a little bridge lift, because we're really hitting the lower back here in the end. Okay, eventually left thigh over right. Scoot your hips a little left, lengthen your spine. Your knees fall right. So if my left leg's on top, I go to the right. Take your time. And you're on the clock. Try to spread your arms. Enjoy it, yogis. Deep breathing, please. And there's our timer. I was almost falling asleep there. All right, let's slowly come back to center. Take a moment, yogis. You know, we're done with all the asymmetries in the lower back and the hips, okay? We have one shoulder, one closing final kind of symmetrical neutralizer. So this is that last posture for compression through our hand, our arm, elbow, and shoulder. It's really fantastic. We did this weekend in one of the classes as well. Anytime my shoulders are hurting, I automatically apply this. It is the Gogokasana bottom arm. Remember we did the Gogokasana seated? Here's how we do it in the yin, because we really need to be able to relax. Here we go. Final kind of big pose, and then one kind of just forward bend to touch our feet, all right? If you're new, watch me. Roll onto your left. Your right arm reaches behind you. This is one people get confused on, so watch and listen closely. That right hand goes down by my hip and behind, and not my lower back, okay? I walk that hand, slide that hand up the spine. I spread the fingers. Notice the palm is not on my back, it's the back of my hand. I hug my elbow in, my shoulder down. Here we go. Brace with my right foot, spread my fingers, and I release and lay on the arm. Now, some people like to let their knees fall open here. You can do that if you want, but I want it to be more about the arm, and I want you to be able to relax there, guys. So maybe some of us just release your legs. I think we did enough hips, but if you want that one last one, okay, you can. Just try to relax now, okay? Particularly around the right shoulder. Ooh, let me start the clock for you guys. So it's a 3-minute hold. I want to start at about 2:35. So about 2:30 left. Stay with it, please. Last 30 seconds. Don't forget, it's this end of the poses that you're really getting the change. Think of it like cardio. The first 10 minutes of jogging, you're kind of burning the sugar in the bloodstream and the stored calories in the liver. And then you don't really burn, like, let's say fat, like ketosis, until you burn a few hundred calories and kind of deplete the bloodstream in the liver. So it's similar with a stretch. You kind of have to get into that second stage where all the effects are different. And there's your timer, guys. Okay, let's slowly do our second side. Now, you want to take a moment. If you're new to the wrist compression, it's good to wiggle your fingers and roll out your wrists. And again, we did compression, but like a little kind of moving like that, like a little massage. Okay, so what's going to happen, guys? We're going to do our 3 minutes on this side, and then we're going to do our last stretch.
And just say, you know, we're going to go about till about 6:35 tonight. Okay. If you have to leave early, I just want you to know that. You're more than welcome to skip the last stretch. So second side, roll onto your right. And again, you reach your left arm kind of behind you. So you get a little different view, and you walk the hand up. But again, that left shoulder and elbow, the shoulder moves down, the elbow moves down and in. Okay. And I spread the fingers, and I'm going to start the clock here. About 2 minutes and 50 seconds left. Try to relax, laying on the arm. This is another one that over the years, you think you're relaxing, but it's incredible how many of these kind of subtle tensions you kind of find and realize are there. And as you release them, that's the deep tension within the rotator cuff, the shoulder, the scapula that we can't get rid of. It takes that resilience of keep looking deeper. As we let go of bigger tension patterns, smaller ones keep being exposed. Close your eyes and enjoy it, please. In case anyone's going to leave early, quick announcement. Wednesday evening is on, 5:30. I'm going to do Hatha Fundamentals. It's a fantastic balanced class of therapeutic strengtheners, light movements and openers. There will be some challenge, a lot of my gentle yoga things in there, and a couple stronger variations, but it will be slower, meditative, and a real nice class. All right, so 5:30 is yoga fundamentals on Wednesday, and Friday we will do restorative yoga. So restorative yoga Friday about 5, you'll get your email. That's why I want to do Wednesday with a little bit more of those kind of healthy strengthening methods, okay? So those are on this week. So 2 more night practices this week. There we are, yogis. Now you gotta release slow, right? Roll it onto your right, releasing your left. Take a few therapeutic moments, shake it out, gently roll it, and like I said, a little massage. Don't forget, we're reprogramming the nervous system, so the more you do this, the better it's gonna feel too. I've been doing this practice for about 10 years, and it feels blissful, like euphoric. Seriously, it's crazy how I feel like I'm like, the longer I'm doing these, I almost feel like I'm in the drugs or something. It's the body's releasing all these like endorphins. Once it stops firing like a lot of pain, it's incredible. All right, our final pose here, guys. Now, in the seasoned practitioners, you can do plow, but if you never do this one, it's called caterpillar. My legs go straight. Okay, I can widen my feet a little bit. That's cool, and I can even bend my knees. Now, the unique part about this one is I actually want you to round your spine and let your head really hang. Really fantastic back body stretch. So this is the peak back line. If you'll watch me for a moment, I'm going to lean forward, and I'm going to try to relax my arms, and I do want my head to seriously get heavy and hang. I notice when I teach this, a lot of people have trouble letting the head hang, Okay? I really want you to try to let your head just disengage and get heavy. Final pose, you're on the clock. 3 minutes. Directional breathing into the tightness, into the upper back of the neck. Keep melting deeper. I like to hold my breath here. Big inhale and hold. Yogis, the whole key is letting that head hang heavy. About a minute in, I thought I was relaxing my neck. I was trying, but something really released my head. Whole other level of release there. And I didn't feel it in my upper back and my neck anymore. It moved to my middle kind of lower back. Still my middle back, but the lower part of my middle. And then that actually gave, and it went to my lower back. Stick with it, yogis. This is a really incredible body work practice. And there we are with your caterpillar pose. Fantastic. Let's sit up. Take a moment, lean back, shake it out, because our arms were forward and our spine was rounded. And, if you'd like just to close up practice here, you could take a seat and bring your right ear to your right shoulder just for a breath. Left ear, left shoulder. Okay, back to center, open your mouth wide. Bite your jaw down lightly. Open your eyes really wide. Close your eyes kind of lightly. Or, they do a tendency or two. Spread your fingers wide. Make a fist lightly. Either a seated 1 minute meditation or just lay on your back. Just to relax for 1 minute, please.